You've seen a lot of things over 30 years of leadership. What still grinds your gears when it comes to seeing poor leadership out there?
Well, poor leadership out there is almost always selfish, and it's almost always greedy. Poor leadership is a taker rather than a giver. Poor leadership is pushy rather than pulley. Poor leadership is more worried about optics than principle. They're worried about how something looks, and they spend all their time building this facade of the way the company looks rather than actually going and doing stuff. They spend a lot of energy, a lot of bandwidth, a lot of resources in virtue signaling out there today.
We saw a lot of that with the pandemic, for sure.
Yeah, pandemic and a lot of the political stuff that's happening. And it's like, I got work to do over here. That I'm not mad about it one way or the other, but I don't have time to stop and do all that. I got people I'm trying to get out of debt. I got people I'm trying to teach how to lead an organization with EntreLeadership, and so that's not my thing. Part of what happens is companies get to making enough money, and it's happened to us that we take our eye off the ball. We forget to dance with the girl that brought us. We forget to stay on task because we've got this money and this bandwidth. We've got these resources, and we could do that over there, or we could do that over there, or maybe we need to make a statement about this, and nobody gives a crap. Just do your deal. But poor leadership with this virtue signaling is grinding my gears big time right now in corporate America.
Now, every leader wants to be seen as confident, successful, strong, like they've got it all together. But at the same time, they're bound to screw up. We're all humans. We're all people. So in your experience, how do the best leaders approach failures and mistakes when it comes to the team?
Well, the thing is this. Nobody is fooled. Everybody knows you made a mistake. So not dealing with it, not talking about it, is not going to I've got it all together. I didn't make a mistake. They already know.
Or you blame someone else.
Hey, I hand the credit, steal the credit and hand the blame, right? And but no, the leaders that I've enjoyed following the most were the ones that they get her done and they're excellent and they push. But when they stumble or when they screw up, when they get mad or when something happens, and they come back and they go, you know what, I screwed this up. And I had one this week that I had to sit down with our leadership team, and I'm like, guys, that right there that really got me in a bad place, and I really made a bad decision on that, and I screwed up. And not only did I screw up, but let me just not only do I tell them that I screwed up, but I unpack why. Okay, what's going on inside of me that caused me to do that, or almost do that, or whatever. What's happening? And that's with my closest leaders, our top gang. I don't necessarily get on stage in front of 1,000 people and go, well, I'm an idiot, But even there, if there's times we're going through stuff and I'm going, guys, we made a mistake on this. And I'm not proud of it. And hey, but I'm also not quitting, And I'm not going to, everything. I don't do cancel culture on myself. So I'm not quitting just because I made one mistake. Apologize, even talk about what was happening inside of me that did it. Just be authentic. Just go, this has happened, and the way I grew up, man, that activated me in a way it shouldn't have, and man, I'm not proud of that. I'm not doing that again. I don't like me when I do that, and I know y'all didn't either. So let's all work together on this. And sorry, guys, next time. But it's like if let's say you get frustrated with your kids when they're little and they're jumping around all over the place, and you're like, would you please sit down? And then you go, I gotta apologize. Okay, so look, I'm sorry I raised my voice on this. Sometimes Dad does that, but that doesn't mean I'm resigning as parent. I'm still in charge. I'm still gonna take care of this child. I'm still gonna nurture them. I'm not gonna go, well, I made that one mistake, so you're going to the orphanage now.
You got to keep going.
Yep.
And there's a level of extreme ownership and humility that creates trust with the team. When I go, man, Dave really owned that one, and that showed me that I can own my mistakes too, and I don't have to hide stuff. And that's actually great leadership.
Yeah, and I had one guy that made a huge error that cost us
some zeros on the end.
Yeah, some zeros. I'll just leave it at that. And he came in and he said, I need to resign. And I'm like, I just invested that amount of money in your tuition at the School of Life. So, no, you're not taking all that knowledge somewhere else. We just all learned the hard lesson together, and, you're staying. And because he doesn't have a pattern, a track record of regularly doing that. Now, regular pattern of that kind of failure, that means he can't do his job, and that's a different thing. I would accept that resignation. But I read that about Andrew Carnegie 1,000 years ago, of Carnegie, if you're from proper from the Pittsburgh area, Carnegie Steel, and one of the steel magnates at the turn of the century and turn of 1900 or so. But a guy made a $250,000 error, which in those days would be millions today, right? Man came in, and that's exactly what Carnegie said to him. No, I will not accept your resignation. I've just invested heavily in your education. And so that's what we all do. And we go, okay, it's not a pattern. It's not repeated. I make a lot of mistakes. My goal is to not make the same stupid mistake twice, because I'm going to make new ones. So I might as well have a variety in life,
Spice it up.